Good morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on. And these practice streams, think of them like office hours. I'm here to practice, try and improve things that I'm not good at yet. And if people have questions, I answer them live on stream. In all of these almost 500 live streams, you can find timestamps in the description to show what I was practicing or what kind of question I was answering. Because I've been drumming for almost 30 years, and because I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education, I'll get questions about, hey, how do I get better as a performer? How do I get better as an educator? I will often edit those answers and put them into this drumming tips playlist. It's got over 17 hours of drumming Q&A inside of here from some excellent questions that people have asked over all these hundreds of streams. The first thing that I talk about is the title, so like how to improve sight reading. And then if it says and other drumming tips, that means there are more tips inside of there that might be of interest to you. And by the way, there's like over 600 videos that are listed as members first on my channel. They're all scheduled to release for free. So like this one comes out a week from today. But every single day there's a brand new play along. So if you do see those, they're all coming out for free, I promise. But if you want that early access, it's just this join button right here. It's 99 cents. And then you get over 600 videos early access to. But again, all of my content will come out for free. So if you just wait maybe a year and a half, you'll get whatever video it is that you're looking for. Now, because I'm not good at limb independence yet, I am going to get motivated from the great sage, Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is here to motivate the masses. For anybody who wants to improve limb independence, this is your daily dose of motivation. Motivation. Here we go. Shia, help me out. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. Hello. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! Do the drum roll? No, those are physically impossible. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Actually, with this motivation from Shia LaBeouf, now I know how to do a drum roll. Thank you so much. A single stroke roll, a multi-bounce roll, a buzz roll, a double stroke roll, a three-stroke roll, a four-stroke roll. What kind of drum roll? You need to clarify. Now, I'm working out of a book. The book that I'm working out of is fantastic for developing limb independence. It's called 50 Ways to Syncopation by Moeller. I'm going to be reviewing several of the patterns that are inside of this book to work on limb independence. The way that I've been practicing limb independence on these streams is largely based off of Gary Chester's idea of limb interdependence that he talks about in New Breed 1 and New Breed 2. Now, I've taken the patterns in Dom's book and I put them in this spreadsheet. This spreadsheet keeps track of like how am I doing across all the different times that I played through it. So like what was my starting BPM on this pattern? What was the quality of the playing? How did it feel while playing through it, etc. And in column A, this is on average how it felt while going through this. So on average, these are technically proficient, these are musical, etc. So I'm going all the way down to the one that is currently needs a lot of work. Now, this is pattern number 53, and if you can number correctly, you'll see that that is not part of the 50 Ways to Syncopation. This is a pattern outside of Dom's book. Now, I'm going to play this at 115. Do not try this one at home. You need parental permission to try this pattern. It is difficult. So it's a very basic pattern to start off with, where you're doing a Soca. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. So that pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, where you have the shup on the release and the hi-hat. Very basic, right? 1 da 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 1 EN, 2 EN. But instead of playing as 16th notes, you play it as triplets. So triplet, I love you. Triplet, I love you. Sorry, talking to my wife. So when you're playing it, you go buckets, 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 buckets. So you're doing 3 buckets in the space of 4 quarter notes, which makes it a 3/4 pattern. It's also a straight pattern where you're going. And while playing that straight pattern, you're going to play 8 notes on the snare drum, swung. Whoa, hit my stick. Anything longer than an 8th note like quarter notes, are going on the bass drum while reading through some charts. So we're doing this at 115. Now, what charts are you talking about, Jared? On my home tab of YouTube. Or if you go to the link that is here, jaredoleary.com/drum, that one, that takes you to my website. There's thousands, plural, of free exercises for you. Like there's 84 chop exercises. There's over 1,000 grid variations. This is where I'm practicing. I'll come back to that in a second. Thank you for the like on YouTube Vertical. There's almost 500 marching bass drum stuff. There's drumline cadences. There's some sight reading exercises, over 200 of those. There's almost 500 technique exercises. There's over 17 hours of Q&A where I've answered questions live on stream just in this playlist alone. Not to mention all of these other scripted lessons down here, like how to hold traditional grip, or the stretch and massage routine that I'm going to do here in about 5 minutes. But I'm in the limb independent section, and I'm playing a pattern at 115 that is swung. So I'm going to go to the swung charts as opposed to the straight ones, and I'm going to click inside of here. Now I'm just going to go to a random set of 5. There's 55 charts in here, but let's go with 31 through 35. Sounds great. Inside all these thousands of free play-alongs that you find on my YouTube channel's home tab, there are timestamps going up 1 click at a time for every single BPM. So if I want to play it at 155, I can do that. If I want to play it at 77, I can do that. They start as slow as 20 beats a minute and go as fast as 240 depending on the play-along. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's the 3/4 part. 1, 2, short on the snare, long on the bass drum. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the quarter note. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's the hi-hat part. This is a 3/4. 1, 2. Here we go. Oops. Oh no. Read it wrong. Cut. What happened? Man, I can't read this morning. That hooked on phonics did not work for me. Okay, let's try it again. Refocus. This one requires like all my brain power to play through it. There's a reason why it's not good yet. It's getting better though. This is, I think I need more tea. Has some nice jasmine tea. Need to wake up my brain. 2 more charts. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play for the forbidden groove. I don't want to get arrested. Sorry. Haven't been to jail. I'd like to keep it that way. 1, 2. 1, 2. Here we go. No! Dang. I totally had myself on that. Well, there's a reason why this one is still marked as needs a lot of work. So the quality of the playing needs a lot of work. Wah, wah. It felt like it was pushing my limits. Like, just mentally, I couldn't really, like, play through it today. That's unfortunate. We had a long streak of it being technically proficient. And now we're back into the needs a lot of work. I think I just need to wake up mentally. I'm going to play through this one again at the end of the stream. But after I go back and, like, play through some of these other patterns. But first, the word from today's sponsor. Jasmine green tea. It is great. Use code Jared. Okay, so let's stretch and massage. And then we'll play some more patterns. So, hands, palms facing up. Pull in, push through. Ooh. It looks funny. It feels good. This stretches the sides of the forearms. It's a great stretch. Been doing it for a long time, since I started drumming in 1998. It's a good stretch for the sides of the forearms. If you do traditional grip or other rotary motions like Steven's grip, rotate and hold to one end of the extreme, and then rotate and hold to the other end of the extreme. When you hold for like 20 to 30 seconds. But because I don't play those styles of grips anymore, I'm not going to worry about that. What I am going to do is stretch the underside of the forearm. So I'm just pulling back gently, so stretching alongside here. Pulling the fingers back. You don't need to pull hard or anything. If you do this one on the wall, the lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Makes it so you can go twice as fast, but don't put all your weight into it. They'd be bad. Doot, 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 doot. Well, I was disappointing with that first pattern. I know it's like a ridiculously hard pattern, but I just wasn't in the mental space for it. Why, hello to you. Now I'm stretching the other side. Next, instead of stretching the underside of the forearm, you can stretch the top side of the forearm by pulling back the other direction. So you're pulling down toward you. And so this is stretching the top side of the forearm like this. You could do it on your legs like this. It goes twice as fast. You like that one? I like that too. I also like that 7. I'm glad we agree. And the final stretch, each one of the fingers. So thumb to thumb makes it go twice as fast. It's a good stretch. Just hold it here. You might need to hold some fingers longer than I do, or you might need to go through it quicker than I do. Depends on what you've been doing the last couple of days with your hands, your fingers, etc. They all have an impact on your overall health when drumming. Hope you enjoy that ASMR popping experience. Did we get another one? Oh, just one. Not a twofer. Other one was like a flam. Oh, very open flam. All right, cool. So next is massaging. So massage the top of the forearm with the thumb, the fingers massaging underneath. You can like switch it around. Just trying to work up and down the forearm. When doing this, like stretches and massages, we'll start from the larger to the smaller to the smaller. So we'll go from like forearm to hand to fingers. It only takes a couple of minutes to do this, but I do it every stream because it's super important. If you want to be drumming when you're old like me, you got to take care of your hands. Almost 30 years into it, can still hit drum. Yay. That's because of 1, stretch and massage routine, and 2, relax technique. If I was tight, I would have had to stop drumming a long time ago. Okay. Next, massaging the palm with the thumb, fingers massaging the back side of the hand. This is also something back when I was in school, way back in the day, that I do like when I had to do like, you know, the Scantron bubble tests and whatnot, and you're like, your hand would tighten up, cramp up holding that number 2 pencil. Just take like a little mental break and go through some of these stretches and massages. Relax your hands. Oh, the joys of tests. I'm glad I don't have to do those. And finally, base the tip of each one of the fingers. Massaging at least twice. Just kind of wiggling your way down. Just relax in the fingers. If your finger's tight, do like 3 or 4. Maybe even 34. If your fingers are relaxed, just like twice. Again, every day will be different. Okay, so the next pattern I'm going to do. Yep, that's how you speak. The next pattern that I'm going to do. Boop. We just had ourselves on pattern 53. Let's see if we can have ourselves on this one too. The Songo feel. This one, the reason why it's yellow is because when I reviewed it in the other stream the other day, 2 days ago, it was not good. It was just kind of okay. Whoops. We don't need an asterisk there. Thank you, though. Appreciate you. All right, so at 180. Okay, so... Well, let me demonstrate it, I guess. I guess I should explain what the Songo is. It's like shifted. Sorry. Alright, fine. I'll fix it later. Okay, so the Songo pattern, you can play it on the hi-hat or the ride, whatever you want to do. But you're just 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Or a 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and... That's it. That's the ostinato, which means it's the thing that stays the same. And then I'm going to read through the chart. Etc. Okay? That's the goal, at least. But this one is so open, the pattern, and there's like nothing going on with like the left foot, that it's harder for me. These open patterns out of Dom's book, 50 Ways of Syncopation, this book, whoop, are harder for me. Maybe they're easier for you, I don't know. We're all different. Your brain different than my brain. Truth. Okay, inside of the limb independent section on my home tab, I'm going to straight charts because it's a straight pattern. And we go into here, double up those kicks. I mean, it is a double pedal. You want 4? That's too many pedals. No, thank you. I'm going into the straight drum charts from 160 to 240 inside of here. Definitely need 4 bass drum pedals for playing some Latin jazz. Ooh wee. Okay, let's try, I don't know, 11 through 15? Sure. And we're going to try it at 180. So inside of here. Scroll. 180. We click. And we're going to try this. This might take my brain some time to warm up. Speaking of, let's get some more jasmine green tea. Today's sponsor. Use code Jared in the Jasmine Green Tea shop. And I'll get V-Bucks for it. Okay. That's a joke. So again, you can play this on the ride, the hi-hat, whatever you want to do. 1, 2, here we go. Sorry, gotta flip the mouse upside down. Go on, go on. 1, 2, here we go. I'm having reading issues today. One of those days. I can rhythm sometimes. 1, 2, ready, and... You like the best days? I like all days, because I'm alive. 1, 2, ready, and... I started playing the, I'll show you. The Bayonne pattern with the bass drum on 1. That's not a Songo. Silly Jared. My brain just like, it was like, no, don't play that. It was like, play this. No, it's not a Bayonne. Hello, traveler. What is this? This is called YouTube. It's pretty cool. People have videos on here about you. Kind of creepy, but you know. Technically proficient. Okay, so yeah, that felt way better than it did the other day, other than when my brain was like, Bayonne. I had fun with it. Okay, so we'll mark that as reviewed. Yay! Success. I graduated. Alright, so now let's play through the next pattern that I haven't reviewed in a long time. Okay, so let me paste it up here so you can see what it is. Pattern number 7,044.3. No, really, what is it? Okay, so swung cymbal. Ding, 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 ding. You're lame? Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Doctor might be able to help you out with that. I'm not that kind of doctor that can help with that, But if you don't get help at charter, please get help somewhere else. Swung cymbal, hi-hat on 2 and 4. Okay, ding, 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 ding. Okay, so then quarter note triplets on the snare. Okay, and then bass drum plays a line. Okay. And what speed are we playing at? 110. Okay. Now, the way I'm doing this is I'm going back to my home tab. There are thousands of free exercises and resources that you can go to. If you scroll down here, we've got... Sorry, you did not meet the maturity threshold to stay in this chat. Banished to the nether. Okay, on my home tab. Now you can actually see it. There's thousands of free resources for you to use. There's a lot of chop exercises. Click on the header. My favorite playlist out of all these in the chop section is the shopping spree ones. There's a lot of shopping sprees inside of there. But there's also over 1,000 grid variations. This is where I'm practicing. There's a bunch of marching bass drum stuff. Almost 500 of those. There's a few like drumline cadences in score format. There's computer science stuff because I'm a nerd. There's over 200 sight reading exercises. There's just under 500 technique exercises. There's over 17 hours of when people have asked questions on these live streams and I've responded to them. And this is edited down 17 hours. And then there's drumming lessons and whatnot. So if you want tips from somebody who's been drumming for almost 30 years and who has a doctorate in music education, internationally award-winning, woo, high five me, you can find out those responses in there, and you can ask those questions in the chat. Except for you, person whoever just got banned. I don't know your name. Some person, apparently they're lame. That's unfortunate. Inside of here, in the limit independent section, we're going to play a swung chart at 110. Woo! Breaking sound barrier today. So we're going to the swung drum... I can speak. We're going to the swung drum charts. There you go, Jared. Yeah, high five me. Inside of here is 55 drum charts. And I just played through 11 for 15, so I don't know, 16 through 20 just for funsies? Sure. We're playing through all of this on the bass drum. And I'm playing the ostinato on all the other 3 limbs. Maybe I have more limbs that I have not told you about. I have 7 of them. 1, 2, ready, and so ding, ding, ding. Hi-hat is on 2 and 4. This is the snare part. I'm going to put it quiet, so you might not hear it, but the melody is in the bass drum. That's the important part. So this is the ostinato. The melody is in the foot. You wouldn't play a whole chart like this, but you might play a measure, a phrase. So this is how you'd practice it, is just going through entire charts while playing the melody in the foot. Now, I'm going to try and add in some extra timbres and textures. I'm going to add in some extra dynamics and whatnot in this quarter note triplet part. So it's not just... Oops, I read that wrong. That's the theme of today. Read that wrong too. I'm so sorry. It's okay if you want to unsubscribe. I get it. 2 more charts with this pattern, and then we'll do another one. Maybe it'll be a bayon. Woo! 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Ooh. The like pedal like flop. I like slit my foot. And it's just like, here's some extra notes. Enjoy. Cool. Last chart. Again, the quarter note triple part in the snare. Keep that low. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Hello. Cool. So that one, again, you might play for like a measure, a phrase, a fill, whatever. Technically proficient. And I had fun with it. But you wouldn't really do that for the whole chart. This was just for practice purposes. But we reviewed it. Yay! It's still technically proficient. Hurrah! Skip. Okay, so the next one out of Dom's book, 50 Ways of Syncopation by Dom Moeller. What is it? Pattern number 30 is what? Okay. 8th note triplets between the floor tom with the right hand. Hi-hat on 2 and 4. Okay. So pretend this is a floor tom. My floor tom is obviously a tabletop. So we're gonna not play on my tabletop. Thank you for the sub. So we're gonna go triple, let 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 triple, let. Okay, so hi-hat on 2 and 4. You could also play this on the cymbal. Or on a different tom. Or if you have a kit like this, a hybrid kit. You can make it sound like whatever you want. Hello to you too. All right, so how fast do we play it? 7 beats a minute. Wow. Last time we did it at 125. Okay. Click. All right, so swung charts. So we're gonna go back to the home tab. Scrolling down. In the limb independent section, every single one of these playlists inside of here, the second video shows you how to develop limb independence. It's not hard, it just takes time. So if you're like, I want to be able to do this with some maybe easier patterns or maybe some harder ones, just watch this video out. It's like, I can talk. Check this video out, watch this video. I fuse those together. Fusion. But inside of here, it shows you step by step like how to develop limb independence. So that way you can do it. And I've demonstrated this on stream for a long time now. So you can see me struggle bust my way through stuff I'm not good at yet. Like the pattern I warmed up with. Whoo, that was rough. Okay, it was 125, right? My brain is off today. Yes, 125. All right, wish me luck. So I'm going to put it on the cymbal so that way we have some different textures going on here instead of just like playing it all in drums. 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, this is the ostinato. The ostinato is the thing that repeats forever. And I'm going to read through the patterns on the snare drum, or at least attempt to. 1, 2, wish me luck. Wow, that took like some warming up. That first line was like, ugh. Second line was like, okay. Third line was like, all right. Good story, right? Thank you. I'm releasing it on hardcover next week. 1, 2, ready, and... Oh, I read that last part wrong. Oh, it's a roguelike. I gotta start all the way over again from chart number 1 to make a single mistake. This is the drum solos. 1, 2, 1, 2, drumborn. Again, you can play... You can also play it on your floor tom, but, you know, it's my tabletop. Like my marimba. That's also like a dining room table. 2, 1, 2, ready, and... On one of those, apparently I played it too quiet. I didn't hear it in my headphones. Didn't trigger it. Alright, last part. The hard part about this is like also keeping that hi-hat on 2 and 4. 2, 1, 2, ready, and... banned you for asking kind of practice I'm doing? No, you are completely misrepresenting what just happened there. I banned you here and there because you called me lame. I don't deal with children. There's a reason why my wife and I have no children. I do not want to have to put up with them at my house. I taught them for years. I don't want to have to deal with them in my stream. If you're going to act like a child and call me lame, I'm going to ban you on all platforms. Don't pretend like you were innocent in this exchange. Okay, pattern number 33. Click. We go there. And we go there. What's this pattern? Let's see. Swung feel with brushes. Hi-hat on 2 and 4. Right hand plays. Taps on short notes. Left hand swishes. Oh, that's it? Oh, that one's not very involved. Okay, well, I need brushes. Alright, so what's happening here? Boop. So the thing is, Trash, which is your name, literally, I'm not mocking you, I have no patience for people wasting my time. Going into my chat and calling me lame is like going into a live stream with like Warren Buffett talking about investing and saying that like they're lame or that like they don't know how to invest or whatever. I have very limited time on this planet, and I'd like to spend it doing things that I enjoy, and dealing with people who are name calling is not one of those things that I enjoy. I don't know about you. I mean, to each their own. But for me, no thanks. I'm good. So that's why you got banned. It has nothing to do with you asking a question. Case in point, people who aren't calling me names, if you scroll down here, have had their questions answered, totaling up to 17 hours of edited responses of how to get better as a performer, how to get better as an educator, etc. As somebody who's been drumming for almost 30 years, who has a doctorate in music education, etc. So it's not a asking a question thing. I clearly don't have an issue with that. The issue is the way you communicate to other people. That is the problem. And I'm sitting with this because I think you need to learn the lesson, because it's clear with the ban of Asian going to other different streams that you didn't learn your lesson. But hopefully you now understand it. Anyways, hi-hats on 2 and 4. Ding, 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 ding. Now, brush pattern, when doing this, when you're going through this, you have this like circular motion when playing brushes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it creates a swoosh sound on 2 and 4. Ding, 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 and a little bit of a crossover while I'm doing this. For me, for whatever reason, it just feels better to play traditional grip. Even though, like, I used to march traditional grip, I don't do it anymore. Now I just exclusively do match grip. But whenever I play, like, brushes with match grip, it just doesn't feel as comfortable as playing with brushes. I don't know why, but to each their own. Now, when I'm playing this particular pattern, I'm going to play through it where my right hand is going to tap, and the long notes are going to be on here. You can't really hear it too good, and I can't really hear it too good with my headphones on. But we're going to play through this at 100 and, I don't know, 60? Sure. Scroll down. Click on limb independence. And we're going into swung charts. And boop. Try and pick different charts every single time. So I've been doing it random today, but in other days, I'll go like 1 through 5, 6 through 10, and I'll just go straight down. Or I'll just go straight up. So start at like here and then work my way up. There's advanced charts, but they're advanced. So, you know, they live up to the name. In all these thousands of play-alongs, go into the timestamps, click, and then it counts off. 2, ready, and ding, ding, ding. I'm going to play the brushes extra loud so you can try and like actually hear it. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and. I'm just kidding. Oops. Hi-hat was late. Now again, eighth notes. Anything longer than eighth note is this like swooping motion. 1, 2 with the left hand. You could also, if you wanted to, add in the bass drum on the long notes to make it just a little more texturally diverse. But that's technically not what Dom wrote in his book. I can't speak. And the heads that I'm using are, by the way, the silent stroke heads. So they're mesh. So you don't want to use brushes on those. It'll rip through the mesh. Don't do that. They're not Moeller. Last chart, and then we'll do another pattern. Oh, what? And then I'll review the one that I was warmed up with that wasn't good. Sweet. That one felt fine. Technically proficient. Yay. Actually, I'd say it was musical, but, you know, we're getting there. Wait, did that just graduate? It did. Okay, so look. So column A here keeps track of on average like how I'm doing across all of them. So for this one, yay, it's now on average musical. Hurrah. I had fun with it. You wouldn't smack the drum as loud as I was. I was just doing it for the fact that you can't really hear it too good with these mics. So, you know, play gentler. We don't hit, we pet. Cool. Let me put this away. So the next one is a samba pattern, apparently. What's the samba one? Oh, O'Reilly. When I used to teach in the classroom, sometimes students would sing that like melody for like O'Reilly Auto Parts, and they'd be like, "It's you," and be like, what? My last name's O'Leary, but well, hello on the horizontal. You're very late to the stream. Sounds jokey and natural in your head. You're just genuinely sorry. I appreciate you explaining that. You see, for clarification purposes, Tommy, I get a lot of hate on these streams and the content that I put out. So much so that I've banned 100 people in one day because of being called a moron, homophobic, transphobic comments, death threats, all sorts of things. And so I have zero patience for people like that. So when you make a comment like that, it comes across a way to you that might be different from me. And I have my own biases in the way that I'm reading through things because I have gotten a ton of hate. So much so that like tons of words are banned across all the different streams that I do, the different platforms, because it just like makes it so that like I don't enjoy doing what I'm doing. So I appreciate you apologizing here, but I'm saying this to say that like the clarification, my zero tolerance policy for this is different from other streamers, and it's because I'm 40. I've lived a life where like I realize that I have a very short amount of time left on this planet, and like sitting here and responding to people like calling me names is just not something that I want to do. So that's why I'm just like I'm done with it. So I appreciate your genuine apology. I won't ban you for that. I will unban you for the other thing. I think I can do that. Yeah. But just heads up that, like, if there's anything that crosses that line, then I'm just like, all right, goodbye. So, like, that's why I do that, is because the stuff that people don't see is the hidden comments that just, like, pop up, and nobody else in the stream can see it, but I can. But, like, as somebody who's, like, trying to genuinely help the drumming community and like just trying to have fun, like creating content, literally thousands of resources and whatnot, like it makes it so that like I don't want to create those kind of resources, or that I don't want to do those streams when I just constantly get hate on here. So like that's why I'm just like, all right, you're out. I send people to the principal's office immediately. Good morning, Tyler. You're late to the stream? Oh, it's all good, Tyler. I didn't stream yesterday because I didn't meet my goals on Wednesday, so I was like, I can't reward myself by streaming. Okay, here we go. So this samba feet pattern with close on 1, open on 3. Anyways. Sorry, reading through the comment. What genre removes the stuff? So in these the limb independent streams, what I'm doing is I'm actually going through a book. So the book that I'm going through, if you go inside of these like drumming resources on /gear, which is usually like the second link in here, the percussion books and gear I recommend. The book that I'm going through is called 50 Ways to Syncopation. So this is by Dom Moeller. This is not like an affiliate link. Dom doesn't even know I'm promoting it. He's a great dude, knows a lot. But inside of here are 50 ways to like read through Ted Reed's book, Syncopation, hence the name 50 Ways of Syncopation, or Dom's charts, there's 20 of them in there, or the 55 charts that are on my YouTube channel. So what I'm doing is I'm reviewing a lot of these patterns from Dom's book, because I'm going to do a stream here, hopefully in like a week or two, where I go through all 50 of Dom's ways of doing limb independence in one stream, as well as some variations that I have been working through. And the way that I'm working through this is largely based off Gary Chesser's idea of new breed interdependence that he talks about in New Breed 1 and New Breed 2. But that's basically what I'm working through. So the rudimental stuff that I normally do in like a pad stream, I'm putting on hold until I like get through this, and I'm trying to do this before I take an extended break. Like most of the rest of the year, I'm actually taking off stream, like over 4 or 5 weeks. I'm like not streaming at all. I'll be working on some stuff offline, but I'm trying to get this through before then. So like that's what I'm working on with these streams, is to get through all this. You wanted to ask a question? Sorry, how do you play a bar of triplets with accents on second note? Triplet to eighth? It's a grid exercise. I'm sorry, let me read through this again. I'm trying to understand it. Masashi. Let's see. Wanted to ask a question. How do you play a bar of triplets with accents on the second note and change to eighth notes with an accent on the first note? So like triplet, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and triplet, 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 1 and like that. For any stuff like that, like you could write it out. but like on like MuseScore or Sibelius, which is what I use to write all these play-alongs, etc. Like that could be an option for you. But one way you could do it, if you go to like the technique section inside of here, click, and you scroll all the way down. There's the timing transitions playlist right here. This one. It's got eighth notes into triplets as one of the things that you could practice doing. So eighth note triplet right here. Click. Play through this. So this exercise, just put the accent on 2 and the accent on 1. So this is timing transitions, eighth to triplet, and this is 4-2-1. So you're doing 4 of eighth, 4 of triplet, and then 2 counts of eighth, 2 counts of triplet, and does it 2 times, and then 1 count. But then this is also a palindrome, so it actually flips it, it mirrors it. So now you go triplet first, followed by eighth note, and you're doing 1 count, 2 count, 4 count. So it goes 4-2-1, 1-2-4, and it flips the rhythms. So if you play through this exercise, put the accent on 2, and then for that, and then the accent on 1 for the eighth note, then you could do that. You have a hard time marking time to it? Yeah, so listen to this one while you mark time. It's got like it's got the click track to it, so you'll hear a higher pitch for the left foot, assuming you march off the left foot for 1 and 3. And then on 2 and 4, it's got a lower pitch, so they're like beep boop while going through that, and just practice marking time to it. And like what you can do is you can mentally sing through the part. You can then try playing through it. You can also play like accents only while marking time to this, and then eventually you can get to the point where you play it with your sticks. But use this exercise. So again, this one is timing transitions, eighth to triplet. This playlist has a ton of different variations for many different like rudiments and whatnot, or rhythms. I can word. But if you go to the home tab here, it's under the technique section. You can also find this under the marching bass drum section, and then you can also find this here inside the limb independent section because they all kind of relate to each other with it. Sorry, give me a second. Hey, Tommy, by the way, I just unbanned you on Twitch. I have had a lot of ban evasion, by the way, which is why I was very quick to just like punish you there as well, because there's some very creative individuals who like to harass across several different platforms, but I unbanned you on that one. Again, I appreciate your apology for that and your explanation of it. Why do you think the students that have a much harder time with triplet grid? I think it's because they have less time playing through triplets. So, like, if you think of like your basic books, like the primers or the standard of excellence, or like whatever the different names are for like all the different method books that you learn in like elementary band, as a former elementary band director, a lot of those are duple based patterns. So you have way less time spent playing through those patterns that are triplet pattern. So when you get into like the grid variations, it's just like a numbers game. So if you're spending like let's say you get in, like, by the time you get to like learning grid, you've spent maybe like 50 hours doing duple based stuff and like 5 hours doing triplet based stuff, with the elementary and middle school stuff in particular. And like, even if you think of a lot of the like high school rep, like most of it's duple feel rather than like in 12/8, etc. It's not until you get into like DCI, WGI when it starts getting into like the shopping sprees where it's like that 12/8 feel, the triplet feel, and some high school content. But most of what they'll play is like 16th note. Like, oh, by the way, Tyler, I sent you a message that has the snare packet. I pulled this up on another screen just in case. I don't want people to find the URL, just in case there's a mistake on it. But it'll come out soon. Stay tuned. But if you look at this, so you have duple, triple, technically duple, triple. So I just won't count that one. Duple, triple, duple. Okay, triple. So you have 4 versus 8. So you have literally double the amount of exercises that are in duple feel versus in triplet feel. on here. So like from a numbers game, you're going to spend more time working on that duple feel than on the triplet, and that's why it just feels uncomfortable. It's not that like triplets are inherently like easier or more difficult than like others, but it's just like how much time they spend on it. So if you look at Indian hand drumming, so like doing like tala on like a tabla, stuff like that, like a lot of the rhythms that they play might be very easy for them because they spent a lot of time with it, and you give that to like a Western person and they'd be like, what on earth is that? How do you play ta-tin, ta-kina, ta-tin? And then it's just like, blah, it just like really messes with people when you're like 15.237 meter, and they're like, oh, I can do that. So the more time you spend doing triplets, the easier to feel. The more time you spend doing like 7/8, the easier 7/8 is going to feel, etc. When going through that. Okay, is it showing it? Yes. Have I seen any Meshuggah or Gochuria drum patterns? Underneath, let's see, technique, there's actually some stuff that you can do to work on that. If you check out the endurance and speed exercises, there's some chug variations where you can do that. I am not good at double bass. I have a double bass, but I'm like not good at it yet. I literally just got it this year, and I never worked it up before then. But if you go inside of this endurance and speed playlist, you can work on a lot of these with your hands, or you can work on them with your feet, whatever you want to do. But what I'd check out is the chug with Hertas, either variation 1 or variation 2. So this exercise, when you play through it, let's just like jump to a BPM. So when you're playing, etc. So when you get to like a faster, and you do that with your feet, like that could really help you out to learn those particular patterns for like bleed. But yeah, check out the endurance and speed exercises. Again, this is under the technique section, and this can help you out with double bass stuff. But I'm not an expert on double bass. Again, I'm like just learning it. I'm not good at that. How do I remember that? How do I remember what? Sorry. I don't know what you were saying. If there's that students also struggle with accents being on different hand. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that one, Tyler. Having it so there's alternating accents definitely messes with some people. Like some people will do like a right hand lead where they'll just basically like putted to everything. Like that. I'm going through it. Is there any way to introduce Moeller strokes? Yeah. Oh, did you switch accounts, Brian, or is... It looks like the handle changed from Masashi to Brian. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe you switched accounts, or maybe YouTube is just displaying it differently. Like, it used to show people's names, now it shows people's handles. So, like, there were, like, regulars, like, where their name was, like, Bob, and, like, now their name is, like, I like to eat ice cream 444. So, like, are you Bob? Maybe? Do you happen to enjoy ice cream as well? Thanks for the change, YouTube. Yeah, so the Moeller stroke stuff, if you go into the technique section, in this accent taps playlist, there's some exercises that are really good for working on this. Like the upstroke builders in particular are good for Moeller strokes. So Moeller strokes, for people who aren't familiar, instead of using like a wrist motion where you're like moving up and down like this and isolating it, or like a finger motion where you're like not moving other parts, Moeller is more of like this like whipping motion. This is a very exaggerated Moeller when doing it. So to work on that kind of like relaxed, like almost whip-like motion when playing it, one of the best ways to work on that is with upstrokes. So where you're playing low to a high note. So like if I were to do triplets as right, left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right, right. So this is upstroke. Those are really good ways to work on your Moeller strokes. So under the accent tap playlist, take a look at the ones that are not downstroke, but scroll down a little bit, that are upstroke. There's a ton of different variations of upstrokes to work on. But you can also do it with the, scroll down to here, the fulcrum control exercises. These are really good for a variety of things. But you can play it all as double stops, and that'll work on your upstrokes. But if you do the accent relaxers or the tap relaxers and play those with the Moeller strokes, that can be really helpful. So for example, If I do the tap relaxers for 3s, click inside of here. What it's doing is it's starting at 3 inches for everything. So, and then you do a 4-inch accent. So just an emphasis basically. So triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. And then 6-inch accent, 3-inch taps, and then 9, and then 12. So it's slowly raising the accents while keeping the taps low, and then it goes back down, so it's slowly lowering the accents and keeping the taps low. So an exercise like this, if you were to play it as like right, left, 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 right, left, so like as upstrokes, and you slowly raise up those accents and slowly lower them, that could be a good way to work on your Moeller strokes. But long story short is check out the accent tap playlist for some suggestions on that. But also, Brian, if you scroll down into the tips and lessons section. Oh, apparently the Borderlands stream was supposed to start soon. Yeah, we'll ignore that. Inside of here, there's a video that talks about how to play relaxed accents. So drumming tip number 88. Wow, that feels forever ago. 7 months ago. This, at the start of it, talks about some approaches for working on relaxed accents. In fact, it might even show some of the exercises I just demonstrated. But drumming tip number 88 is a good thing for that. Yeah, so it shows the tap relaxer stuff. Oh yeah, so that variation, the 2 up, 2 down, that does all 4 of the main stroke types. So we have an upstroke that starts up and ends up, so up, up. A stroke that starts up and ends down, so up, down. A stroke that starts down and ends down, also known as a tap, so down, down. And a stroke that starts down and ends up, so down, up. So if you do up, up, down, down, up, down, down, with your accent taps, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It does all 4 stroke types in one simple exercise. So that's another good one that you could work on to work on upstrokes, downstrokes, taps, accents, all in 4 notes. But yeah, drumming tip 88 specifically. I talk about that. And apparently it was wintertime and I was cold, so I wore that. Also, full disclaimer, because I had gained a lot of weight from like the trauma experience at the job that I left a couple years ago. And so I like was very self-conscious of my weight and was like, today I feel fat. So I wore that. But now I've lost over 30 pounds. So yay me. And now I feel less of that. In fact, there's actually a video that, sorry, I was talking to my ear. If you scroll down here, there's let me give you a little back end sauce here. So when I create these drumming tips videos, I basically edit the video as like into a refined response on like what are double stops or like how do you work on your endurance or whatever. And I put them into a folder. And the folder just has like the title and then I sort by length. And so what I do is I'll go like, okay, I'm looking for videos that are this length because I want the videos to be about 8 minutes long. And so I started this with this particular question, which actually I think Tyler, you asked this one, I think. And so the folder has like stuff that is like newer, like this one I think was a couple weeks ago, and then stuff that was older. And what was really interesting when I was looking at this is a clip from like a month or 2 ago, at most. But then if we look at a clip from earlier in the year, I'm like way different body composition wise. So that was like super motivating for me, as a full disclaimer, as somebody who was like, I'm not satisfied with that. And so like I've been working my butt off literally. And now I look very different. Yay! Anyways, that was probably TMI, but you know, it is what it is. Ever since aging out, you can't have a full weekend of maximum calorie burning. Yeah, no, I hear you. The thing that I've been doing lately, I have like a computer monitor and my Steam Deck hooked up to my treadmill, which also has a tenor pad on it, so I can drum on it while I walk on an incline, or I can play games or like watch a movie on the Steam Deck or whatever. And so I've been doing that, but I have a weighted vest that I put on, so it's like at a 10% incline, which is the maximum that treadmill can go with the weighted vest, and I'll go for like usually the 10-minute breaks I'll do throughout the day. I'll do several of those, and then I'll do like a 45-minute one at the end of the day. That has made like a huge difference in like the calories. Another thing for me that helped out is I did a 5-day fasting mimic diet, which basically reset my relationship to food. which was like it had become unhealthy. It had become like disordered because of like the trauma from the prior work experience. But then doing that fasting mimicking diet, like completely reset it for me. So didn't use any over the counter or any of that stuff. Like to each their own. If you need to use that, go for it. But like I'm very honestly afraid of that, those kind of like interventions, because I just don't know what it's doing to your body. And I don't want cancer again, so trying to avoid that. But yeah, less calories, more moving throughout the day, and it has helped out a lot. But that walking treadmill desk, whew, it's great. I used to take meetings on it, like back when I was like working at the nonprofit, and would just go for like hours throughout the day, just like moving on it. But then when I like left the nonprofit, it was like I wasn't moving as much. That was a me issue. Anyways, I just ranted a bunch. What's the pattern? Oh yeah, that one. Ugh, okay. Good luck, Jared. Doop. Click. I don't know why it starts auto playing when I'm like, when I close out of that. All of a sudden it's just like me talking to myself. I don't need that. I only need one Jared talking to myself. How fast are we doing this? 7,000 beats a minute. 165. Okay. Okay. So this is a straight pattern. I don't think I've done 6 through 10 today. This is the problem with when I randomize which one I'm doing. I can't just go in order. You're also not wanting to use over-the-counter meds for that stuff? You almost hit 200, which scared you? Yeah, I hit 210. And I have never been that weight before. Like, that was, like, 160 was my fighting weight. Although, when I was really training hard, like 6 days a week, going to multiple Muay Thai classes a day, and then weightlifting, etc., I dropped down to an unhealthy 140. It was like, I was burning so many calories, I could not eat enough. So, to go, like, at 210, I was at the doctor's office, and I was just like, whoa, that was not the number I was expecting. And so, like, I was just like, all right, I'm tired of feeling this way. Like, the insecurities with, like, not looking good, but also not feeling good. And then, like, that number scared me. Because I was like, oh, there's so many complications that comes with being overweight. So, yeah, I've lost, as of, like, 3 weeks ago or something, I'm, like, 178 now. So, huge difference. But yeah, I don't know, the over-the-counter stuff. I know a lot of people who are taking it for medical reasons, and it's working great for them. That's awesome. But for me, I'm like not doing that. You're jealous of my fighting weight? Yeah, I mean, 160, that was a very lean 160. But then obviously 140 was too lean. In fact, I had somebody, an instructor that I taught with, like I came back over the summer after like really going all in on Muay Thai. And they're like, are you like taking something? This was like over a decade ago. Because like I lost a lot of weight because I was just like fighting all day long, training all day long. And yeah, nope, couldn't eat enough. Hey, I appreciate it, Tyler. Yeah. So you check the scale every day? Yeah, I don't have a scale. But the way that I check it is I donate platelets. I was doing it every 2 weeks, but my iron levels were getting too out of whack. So now I do it every 3 to 4 weeks because I'm a universal platelet donor. So I donate platelets, and I use that as a measuring stick. So like every 3 to 4 weeks, okay, how am I doing with this? And like seeing that number like slowly go down has been motivating for me. It's one of those things where it like feels insurmountable, and then you start to see progress after like weeks of hard work, and you go, oh wow. And then when I look at that, like that juxtaposition of me sitting on the kit and then a few months prior, like the way that I looked, it's like night and day. Like there's nothing that you can I don't know. It's undeniable, which is like, all right, cool. The hard work is paying off. Yay. High five. So if you are in a similar situation, small steps. Try and like refine things. Like, so for me, it was like I mentioned, the only intervention that I did was that like 5-day fast that helped reset my food, relationship. But other than that, like it was like learning more about, well, like what types of portions of proteins versus carbs versus fats should I be going for? How much do I need of each of those? How much movement do I need throughout the day? How much sleep do I need? How much stress is there? Like all of those things have a profound impact on that, like the weight loss and whatnot. And so like just making small little tweaks and learning more and more things from different people. There's a ton of free content on YouTube for that. It like helped. It like tipped the scale, pun intended, in the right direction where it was making things better. You're jealous of my motivation? Yeah, I mean, it comes at a cost, though. Like, my motivation comes from pain. And, like, I'm not trying to get all, like, emo or anything, but, like, it's the truth. Like, the reason for this, like, tattoo, like, let me see if I can show you it, but, like, this idea of, like, when it starts to rain, and then turning that rain and, like, playing with it, like, bad things, that's my goal, at least, is to, like, the goal is to make it so that, like, I want to be able to take those bad moments in life and, like, turn it into something that can fuel my fire. And that is, to me, a superpower. So, like, my drumming progressed when I was the worst. Actually, hold on a second. This phone alarm is about to go off. Turn that off. Let's get some tea time with Jared. The thing that got me to like actually get good at drums was a negative experience with it. So I got yelled at in front of the entire band by the drumline captain. I couldn't play a quarter note part on the cowbell, literally just at 140. Just couldn't play it my freshman year. And so he yelled at me, and this was in front of everybody in the whole band. And it was super embarrassing for me because I was not good, and it was obvious, but I didn't practice. But that moment was a huge fuel for me to like not let that happen again. And so I started practicing several hours a day, every single day. And so I was able to turn that into fuel. So my motivation comes at a cost. It's from pain. Whether it's motivation to be good in a relationship is because I had failed at relationships where I spent so much time on work. I didn't care for my partners in the way that I did in the past. So those relationships ended, which, it happens. And I learned from them. So that way, my wife and I, we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary recently. And it was because of the failures that I had that I learned how to be better in relationships, be more present, be less like focused on career, etc., and like more focused on just, enjoying time with my wife. But like those things again came at the failures, the ability to like write well for the academic stuff that I used to do. Like that came off of like writing poorly and getting rejection letters from like academic journals or getting feedback from professors that like, this is not good enough and whatnot. So I'm saying this to say that yes, the motivation is good, and I'm glad that I have that ability to take those negatives and use it as fuel to turn it into a positive, but they come at a cost that people don't see. And I'm making this explicit to say that like, if you see somebody who is super motivated, that is awesome for them, but there might be the flip side of that fuel for their motivation might be a lot of pain. I've met a lot of people who were like abused as a child, and they use that fuel to like, well, I don't want anyone to hurt me again, so I'm going to become like a bodybuilder or become like really good at MMA or whatever. And so it is cool that they were able to take that and turn it and reframe it into a positive that benefited them in some way. But there are hidden costs that come with some of those benefits, if that makes sense. There is the yin with the yang. You remember how I was saying life isn't fair? Yeah. I think that video is out. Again, because there's like so many, um, there's so many like of the drumming tips. I don't remember if that one's released. Let me see. Da 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 da. Oh yeah, so 110. How do you handle when life isn't fair with drumming? Yeah, so that was talking about that. Yeah, it's difficult. Life is hard. It's wonderful, but also it's difficult. Like it's worth the efforts. Like having like achieved levels that I had spent years aspiring to achieve. Like it's great. Not gonna lie, I love it. But did it come at a ton of costs? Oh yeah. and I don't think enough people are honest with that or are aware of it. So if you are the person who has achieved great things, share the struggles along the way. It's not just like, yeah, I've done awesome things and everything is grand and it was super easy to get there. No, not the case. And then if you are somebody who looks at somebody else and they're like, I aspire to be just as good as them or to be able to do the things that they do, like try and learn from their hopefully interviews that they do and figure out like what struggles did they also have when going up, because it wasn't just like this like up and to the right like kind of progress where it's just like and everything gets like exponentially better and it was smooth sailing, etc. Like it's hard. Life is very hard. And if you can learn that those people that you admire and look up to, that they too struggled at some point, whether it was like they couldn't play a paradiddle as fast as like they can now or whatever, like something as simple as that where it's drumming related or just in life, like there's so many like failure after failure, and ask yourself like what made it so that they could break through that struggle to get to where they are now. Because like at some point every of the best drummers you've ever met have like played slow paradiddles, every single one of them, I guarantee you. Including myself, and yet here they are able to play it faster or whatever. Or like every writer who is like you're really good, or every film director is really good, they had flops where it was just like terrible. What were the things that they had to overcome to work on that? And for me, I just try and like each stream or each piece of content I create, I try and iterate on it. It's the same way that I taught lessons, whether it was privately or in the classroom. Is like, all right, I'd go in with a goal. What do I want to improve while teaching this? What do I want to improve with this practice session? Or like, what do I want to improve with my understanding of finances? How do I want to budget better this month, etc.? Like that led to like us being debt free for several years now. Like all of these things are attainable for anybody if you make those little incremental steps towards improvement each day. Like the weight loss that I've done this year, over 30 pounds, and to gain muscle while doing that, so more fat loss than just the 30 pounds. Like it was just little incremental, how can I tweak this to get a little bit better, and like was able to go through that. There's the phrase of like there's no free lunch. Like the shortcuts that people are trying to take to like get better with like, I want to be able to drum faster or whatever, or I want to like invest in this meme coin and make $1 billion. Like the odds of that happening is so infinitesimally small that it's not worth your time. Just invest in the long-term improvements. And if you can, that like two cookies tomorrow instead of one cookie today kind of thing, that will pay off so much in the long run with anything in life. But that's just my opinion. And I say this with the full disclaimer that everything I've done is not good enough for me. Like I am constantly trying to still improve the things that I do. If I'm in the kitchen and I'm like moving one thing to another thing, I still think about, well, what would be the most efficient way that I could have done that? That could have saved me like a fraction of a second. And like that balance of using it to like try and improve and iterate, but also like not letting it sway to the other side where it's like, how like where it gets out of control, where it's so overwhelming, like there's too many things to work on. It's difficult, and it is a balancing verb. It is an act that is constantly give and take. Like the other day, I took like a couple of days off of streaming because I was just like, I don't feel like I'm good enough to stream. As like a performer or as an educator or as an entertainer or whatever. And I was like, I'm just like, I need to like improve. And it was, the balance went too far in one direction. And it like with therapy, with supportive friends, family, etc., hopefully you can try and maintain the balance of using it as fuel. But it's never this constant, I've got it figured out and everything is great. I've never met anyone like that, ever. Everybody has something going on behind them that they're having to have that counterbalance where it's just constantly going back and forth because life changes. Like, you might get into a car accident and then suddenly, like, you can't drum for, like, a few months or whatever. Or, like, I couldn't do my last 2 years of drum corps because of a car accident. Or you're, like, might have a death in the family. Or you might, like myself, have, like, chronic depression. And so, like, it, like, ebbs and flows and whatnot. Like, all those things can work for or against you in different ways. So just know that that's normal, that ebb and flow. This too shall pass, like the Buddhist idea. That impermanence of states of mind or like, ways of feeling, emotions, etc. Like, you're never going to be a constant. And that's normal. Sorry, I need to read through the chat. Failure is truly fuel if we can bear the weight of it. I like that phrasing of that, Brian. Life advice with Jared, new podcast. I really enjoy these like drum streams. Going with what I was talking about to somebody earlier where I misinterpreted their comment. Again, I apologize for that, Tommy. Like, when I'm not getting harassed, like, I have so much fun with them. Like, some really cool questions and being able to, like, explore different ideas with people around the world. I love that. But, yeah, it's... The podcasts that I used to do, like, on here, it was fun. I did, like, a couple hundred episodes of it. But I just kind of, like, lost faith in the future of computer science education because of, like, the direction the field was heading. And it turns out, I think I was right with it because they were heading towards this like corporate, the field in general. Like, I don't know how I want to say it without getting like political or anything, but they were heading towards this like, corporate influence that made me very uncomfortable. In fact, I've like, if you go to the publications, I forget what the title of it is, /publish. There's a paper that I did many years ago with Kathy Benedict, who is like a really cool person, very smart person. This one, Reconceptualizing Music Making, Music Technology, and Freedom in the Age of Neoliberalism. And so we talk about like the corporate influence on music technology and computer science education, where they're like having so much say that they're like, no, you're not going to teach that thing. You're going to teach this thing instead. And so there are, I'm going to be vague here. There are organizations that I'm aware of, several, that have been like, well, do we want to talk about this thing that we know is beneficial for the students that we are teaching? But if we do, we're going to lose like $8 million in funding. So do we want $8 million and not teach as good as we know we could do? Or do we want to get rid of the $8 million, say no to that, and teach as good as we can? I mean, I wish I was exaggerating with that. Those numbers are correct. But I will not divulge which one it is because I know that company will sue. But you can find the paper here. There's a PDF here, and then there's like the actual one if anyone's interested in this. But this talks about specifically with music technology, like the influence of corporations on education. But yeah, I've been talking about this for years, and that was 2019. And then to see like it slowly spiral and get worse in computer science education, I just like moved away from it. I was like, this is not why I went into computer science education. Like, there's a lot of cool things you can do, but my goodness, is there a lot of negative corporate influence on there, which I'm not a fan of. And then a lot of those corporations just basically bailed on computer science education when they realized that, well, what we're going to do instead is just like have AI replace all the jobs that we wanted to get by supporting, air quotes, computer science education. But if you want to learn more about that, I talk about that more on /CSK8 on my website. It takes you, if you go to the Computer Science podcast, but I haven't done an episode in almost 2 years now. But there's a ton of podcasts, like over 200, if anyone's interested in those discussions. You reached a point with streaming where you actually use hatred trolls as a point of humor. I'm really happy to hear that. I am not immune to that. There's a reason why I have all the stuff, like the words muted and the like comments turned off, is because I'm tired of it. Even when it's like the homophobic stuff, like people calling me gay and whatnot. It's like, okay, I've only dated women, I've only been married to women, I've only been in relationships with women, I've only just 100% women. And then they'll make a comment that is like objectively like false. The thing that gets me is not the attack on me, because it's like, you calling me gay doesn't all of a sudden make me gay. The thing that gets me is that I know they're hurting and they're taking it out on somebody else. One, it's usually a projection. Just to be real here. If you don't know projection, look up projection psychology. But two, the person I know who is like attacking me in the different ways, I know they're hurting, and that bums me out. So if it doesn't hurt me because like there's no resonance, there's no truth behind it, I still just feel like inherently bad for that person. And so like the energy, my vibe goes down, and it makes me not want to create content or like put myself out there. But then I get like, I have like a what I call like the happy folder. It's like in my drive where like I review it before I make content, whether I'm streaming or before I like work on like a drumming script or whatever. And it's just like kind comments that I've received over the years that like help like counterbalance. So that way like I focus on the good impact as opposed to the people who are hurting, and knowing that, okay, well, I'm making a positive impact on these people's lives. These other people might not be in a space where they're ready to improve themselves or focus on themselves, etc. So yeah, I like one of the reasons why I don't talk about politics is because like it's super toxic, and like I don't care to have that. That's not the vibe of these streams. But another reason why I don't talk about politics is because like I absorb that negative energy and ruminate on it too much. Like it's just part of my nurture and nature. And so I have to provide those counterweights to try and prevent that. But Fortnite win? No plans. No plans. I was supposed to do Borderlands like 20 minutes ago, but I'm apparently running late. Whoops. So, yeah, speaking of, let's do the Samba one next time. I enjoy these questions, by the way. I want to talk about this kind of stuff. I think it's important for people to like have these kinds of conversations. Not like that what I'm saying is of value. I just think the conversation itself, the meta, the discourse, the thing that people should be doing as a whole, as a society, as a community, that is the value. And so what I have said might be like a starting point for having those conversations with friends, family, asking for like follow-up questions, etc. But I hope that more people have these uncomfortable conversations and share these things so we can learn from each other, as opposed to like fighting with each other. And I know that's like very pie in the sky sounding, but like all I can try and do is model the kinds of discourse that I wish there was more of in this world and hope that other people do it too. And it is motivating to see when other people are doing that. So hopefully like the content that I make in some way helps with that. That's one of the things that like realizing that I wanted to see more of that. So like I started talking about it more, and then that led to more questions about it, which is why if you look at like the earlier drumming tip stuff, like a lot of it's just like technique, like what is slicing, etc. And then it started getting more into the mental side of like performance psychology. And then it started getting into more of like, what do you do when you don't have motivation? Or like, how do you handle when things aren't fair, etc. So like it slowly has moved beyond just the technique and into the more... in my opinion, this is an axiological like statement, but like a value I'm placing on this, but like more valuable conversation is like talking about these sorts of things. So if you don't like these kinds of conversations, there's still several hours of just talking about like technique tips and more to come. So to each their own. People who don't have a space here. Yeah, no, I hear you. That's why I was quick to like ban the person. And again, Tommy, I appreciate the apology. I appreciate you hearing out my perspective on it. I just have no tolerance for it. Having had like multiple friends like die from cancer, yeah, and then to like get it like a year, 13 months ago, I was like, okay, life's too short. I have zero patience for that. Cut them out of my life. But just spill some tea. To be clear, I'm good. It was just a simple basal cell. But, you know, cancer's cancer. Thankfully, it was external rather than internal. But it still was like a, oh, wow, I'd like to not have that happen again. Anyways. Okay, I'm going to get ready for Borderlands. I'll probably do that for like an hour and a half or so, because I still got a lot of stuff to make. But, Tyler, the document that I sent you, it has like on the bottom a bunch of links on it. And like you have to basically, whoever the owner of the KIP channel, the YouTube channel is, they have to manually accept each one of those. So that's why there's like a ton of links at the bottom in that document. But that playlist that I sent is unlisted. So like only you and anyone you share the link with will have access to those play-alongs until I make it public. So just let me know if they look good. But each one of the play-alongs, because it's just a ton of copy and pasting, if there's a mistake on one of them, it'll be the same mistake on all of them. So you don't have to like spot check like beyond just one instance of it. But anyways, tomorrow, as long as I meet my goals for today, I'll be back on for more limb independent stuff, and we'll do that samba one that I skipped out on, and we'll practice some more. But if you want to find more of these like drumming tips and like all the play-alongs they use, there's thousands. Just go to my home tab of YouTube. And if you enjoy the content, just share it with somebody else. But yeah, I'm going to get ready for some Borderlands 4. And then I'm going to work on stuff. And I should be back on tomorrow. But good questions, good topics. Hopefully people are able to get something out of it. But hope you have a good rest of your day. And goodbye.